Hey everyone, welcome to my 2024 Carolina Fear Fest recap video. Now, me and Dale underscore A from the Bat and Spider podcast, please do me a favor, go over to Apple Podcasts and Spotify and subscribe to them. Though Chuck and Dale are great, they have a great podcast over there. We've been going every year since we've met and started hanging out, and this is our fifth year going, and it was the fifth year of Carolina Fear Fest. Now, I didn't shoot any footage inside the con. I like to go and just walk around, talk to folks or some people there we know, or, go check out all the vendors, decide what celebrities we're going to meet. Usually I pick one, and my son went on yesterday and Sunday, so he wanted to meet David Arquette. So I'll post those pictures, will pop up in this corner right around here throughout this video. Some of the stuff that I saw, some of the photos I taken. They also had the Maximum Overdrive Goblin from the truck there. The screen used, restored by this gentleman from Ohio. Very nice man. Stood there talking. Me and Dale stood there talking to him for like a half hour. Very nice man. He's planning on opening a museum. He has over 300 movie props. And he was there. He brought the Goblin down. And this is, I think, the last year he's going to travel with the Goblin. He said, once I get the museum up, that's where it's going to stay. But a very nice gentleman. Couldn't have been nicer. My buddy Phil from the Spook House podcast was there. He's there every year. He had a booth set up. Do me a favor, subscribe to the Spook House podcast. They do have a YouTube channel as well. Him and Doug, Phil and Doug, do a great job over there. Check them out on Apple and Spotify as well. Tell them I sent you. Phil's a really nice dude, and so is Doug. So give them some love. They're horror fans through and through. The Toxic Coffin guys were there. They're very nice guys. They have great shirts. It's always nice talking with them. Wes Flannery was there with his artwork. I didn't get to talk to Wes this year. Last year I got some art off him, but he was there, and it looked like he was doing well selling his art. He has great art. Check him out. He has an Instagram page as well. Terror Vision was there, although they were only there on Saturday. I bought a few movies from them. Nice people. They definitely sell a lot of stuff you probably may have never heard of. I picked up a couple movies that looked interesting to me, so yeah, check them out. They have an Instagram page as well, so check out Terror Vision. My friends from Slasher 15's Productions were there. Michael was not there. He's a producer on their films, and he acts in them as well. He was not there. Unfortunately, I was bummed. I didn't get to talk to him this year. Last year, we chatted a bunch of times. They were there selling some of their films, and they're working on a brand new film, Bloody Summer Camp 2, right now. So show them some love as well. You can follow them on Twitter and Instagram. They have an Instagram page as well. A lot of great vendors have picked up. Well, I'll show you some of the stuff I got. I'm only going to show a few things, but I got Blake from NECA. The one gentleman there had a booth set up selling a bunch of NECA stuff, and I honestly did not know this existed. And when I saw it, I'm like, I must have this. So I picked this up, and it's a great addition to my collectibles. My son already had it on the shelves. I have to put it back to where he put it. But yeah, very nice gentleman. Had a lot of cool stuff. Some stuff I hadn't seen around in a while. Still in the packaging. I could have spent a ton of money there. The Grantville Farm drive-through haunted house was there, and the drive-in people were there. They were very sweet people. Dale and I were talking to them for a little bit. They had a life-size big Slimer at their booth. Nice folks. They do a drive-through haunted house in the fall, and the movie theaters there, the drive-in theaters there, and they do an all-night horror-thon in the fall as well. And I'd love to do it. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it, but maybe we'll go do the drive-through haunted house this year. Very nice folks. So if you get a chance, check them out. They're also on Instagram as well. Show them some love. And the gentleman from the N.C. Myers house was there. And I've been following him for a while. He does a lot of cool on-the-set screenings of films. I know coming up this summer, he's going to Iowa where they filmed Children of the Corn, and Courtney Gaines is going to be there. They're actually going to show it, the theater right in the middle of town where Linda Hamilton, by that light post, that's where they're going to show the film. That's very cool. They do a lot of stuff. They do a lot of stuff in North Carolina. They just did at the Rusty Nail, they showed where they filmed Halloween Kills. They did a screening there not too long ago. They're doing one in Atlantic Beach for the Mutilator, or the Mutilator 2. That's coming up in November. He does a lot of cool stuff. He was in Salt Lake City recently doing a screening for Halloween 6. He couldn't have been nicer. We were chatting with him for about 15, 20 minutes. Very nice guy. Everybody was super nice. There was a bunch of haunted houses there. Holler and Haunts was there. I got to get out to Clayton and check them out. follow them on Instagram as well if you're interested. They were there walking around. They had people dressed up in makeup, a lot of creepy clowns. Some of them were sneaking up my son yesterday when he was there, because that was his first horror convention was yesterday when I took him. Um, a lot of cool people, a lot of cool things. They had a gaming setup this year. My son took advantage of that, a VR gaming set side, and then just video game side. They definitely switched up the format and the layout of the con this year. The celebrities were at the back of the building, which I actually think was a great choice because it forces people to walk through the whole floor to get to them. And in the middle, they had their stage for Q&As in that, and then the vendors were around those areas. And I thought this year they had their best layout, in my opinion, anyway. So the one celebrity my son wanted to meet, and the one I said, okay, we'll just meet him then. That would be the celebrity I meet this year. Because Tom Matthews was there. He seemed like a really nice guy. Heather Langenkamp, she had a line all weekend. She couldn't have been sweeter as well. But he wanted to meet David Arquette. And out of everybody there, David Arquette was definitely the biggest name there. There's some really cool people there, don't get me wrong, but he would be the one that was the biggest name there. And they had a wonderful Q&A with him yesterday. And Mick from the Sneed Stomps podcast, please go over and check them out as well. He has a YouTube channel, and his podcast is on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. He moderated the panel. Mick did a great job. And David Arquette was great. He told a lot of cool behind-the-scenes stories for Scream, but other films that he did. Ready to Rumble, he talked about that for a little bit, about how he ended up becoming a WCW champion, which I remember that time, the weird time when they did that just for promotional reasons. He was very open and honest about a lot of stuff. He was very laid back. Seemed like his wife and his kids were there as well. And we got to meet him. Me and Troy went up and we met him, and we had him sign our Scream 4K slipcover. And he was very nice. He took a bunch of photos with us, and he couldn't have been nicer. Nice guy. If you ever get a chance to meet him, I highly recommend it. He was very nice, and he couldn't have been a nicer dude. Overall, it was a great weekend, honestly. Carolina Fear Fest, I think this was probably their best year. They definitely brought it. It was great to see the vendors we're familiar with. Our friends from other podcasts were there. It was just a ton of fun and a lot of horror. There was a lot of people dressed up, walking around, cosplaying. My son wanted to dress up, but I can't remember the name of that. I'd have to have his business card. It was this guy that lives in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and he does these great tombstones. And I almost bought one. He has this Judith Myers tombstone, and they're really well made tombstones. And I'm blanking on his name, the name of his company, but he does great work. He's out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And we were chatting with him for a little bit, and his stuff was amazing. It looked amazing. It was really well constructed. But the Judith Myers one, it was like $80, and I was gonna buy it, and I didn't. And I'm like, I don't want to put it outside in my cemetery. I want to put it in the house. I don't want nothing to happen to it. It's too cool. It's too nice. But yeah, he was a nice guy. Great job with the layout this year. Everybody couldn't have been nicer. It was a fun weekend. And yeah, if you're ever around these parts, they have it every Memorial Day weekend. Check it out. It's a fun con. It's a huge building, and there's tons of vendors and tons of cool people to talk to. But yeah, that's it for this video. It was a fun time, and we'll do it again next year. But that's it for this video. Until next time, bye.